Original live stream date December 15, 2025, via StreamYard. The award-winning support our #Creatives podcast, hosted by Alan Greenstein. Our special guest is Bacheler, an artist, musician, designer, and cultural visionary. We will discuss Haiti, his music, the Chabon Art Series, the Art Basel event in Miami Beach, fashion, and more. This is a recording of a live broadcast, so expect some imperfections during the show. There was some editing performed on the original recording. Enjoy the show.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Alan Greenstein, and my brand is support our #Creatives. Welcome to our podcast tonight. The goal of my brand is to we level the playing field for underrepresented creators and artists so that they have the same opportunities as everybody else to get their works created, distributed, and seen. I'm also on the board of directors of the Bella Levy Foundation, and the goal of the Bella Levy Foundation is to fight human trafficking and provide a safe haven for its warriors. Well, I'm so excited tonight. Our guest is Bacheler, and from the way he stated it to me, he deals in self-expression through music, fine art, architecture, and fashion. So let's have him introduce himself right now. Go for it. Brief introduction.
Thank you, Alan. First of all, it's a pleasure for me to be on this podcast with you. We've been talking about it. My name is Bacheler. As you say, I'm an artist, a multidisciplinary artist. Born in Haiti. I like to think of myself as a creative because I think I'm one of the most gifted person because I can express myself in art, designing, fashion, painting, illustration, and so on. And my goal is to be a creative director for a big house. I feel like I have a lot to offer the world. I feel like I see the world in a different perspective, knowing my background, my culture, my story. And then it's a pleasure for me to be talking to you tonight. Let's talk art.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. So, let's start by let's talk about how your Haitian upbringing and native country has influenced your career choices.
Yeah, for sure. Well, growing up, I like to tell people that I have an amazing childhood, a very colorful childhood where I was surrounded by a beautiful community that that groomed me in the best way possible. I was raised by my uncles. It's three of them: a priest, a cop, and a professor. so, so I have like the best of every world. Uh, and then I was groomed. I was raised to always keep my head up and always nothing is impossible. Like I didn't have no limit growing up as the only child. Also, I grew up in a family that was very supportive of whatever I decided to do at an early age. It either was drawing or wanted to take piano lessons or playing soccer. I was blessed to have a family that pushed me to do so. So by the time I came here to the state, I think like I was very already well groomed. I spoke like a Creole, a Haitian Creole, French, a little bit Spanish and English. Uh, I was I think like it was a very beautiful upbringing, but also how they say like you have to live something have to leave you, or you have to live someplace in order to really appreciate the beauty of it. So that's what happened. So after I left Haiti, and then I started to becoming my own person, then I started to discover the how Haiti is always alive in me and within everything that I do, whether it's playing soccer or whether it's like it's in my fashion, in designing sneakers, or whether it's like painting. I realized that this colorful culture is always part of me.
Hmm. Okay. Very interesting. Yes. Okay. Let's talk about your music now.
Yes.
There's so much. You have so many directions that you express yourself. And we want to start someplace. We'll start with your music. So, do you have a particular musical genre? You have any way of describing your music that way?
It's one of those things. I if I was to describe my music, I would say my music is an Afro Soul. It's a because it's a fusion of my culture, like Caribbean music, Afro, and a lot of soulful elements into it. I use a lot of strings, a lot of sax, trumpet. I try to like mix it a little bit. So that's in like that's how I would describe it. It's like a fusion of Afro soul.
Also,
Yes, yes.
yeah. Okay. And what was your first musical hit? That is the first song that you promoted.
First, okay, so the I always tell the story how I started music because music was never something that I imagined myself doing in this world. It was during quarantine, and then like everybody, like most people, I try to like tackle or find something else to add uh, on my own as art. As I was so out, my one of my friend was stuck from France, and then she was working on a couple of projects, and then I decided to be like a creative director, kind of like help with the whole creative direction of this project. And then I introduced her to another artist, and then they started making music. And here I was in the room, and then I wrote a verse out of out of nowhere. And
Oh
then the
wow.
first song was called Lucky Man. And then it's one of the songs that ended to be like a big song back home. And then this is when I like I got how do you say that you get bite by the bug. And then I was like, you know what, maybe it's something that I can do. And then from there I ventured in myself, and then I made my first single, which is Blessed.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Do you do you write all your own music?
Yes, yes. So, I've always been a big fan of literature. I remember even back home, like I used to really love Haitian and French literature, and then I used to write poem growing up, and then also I'm one of the kind of person that words has a really powerful meaning to me. I started a whole brand with the motto "Nothing ventured, nothing gained." So I've always been express myself even before music. My notes on my phone, it's even the process of writing music. Like for me, writing music is very different as an artist because I will write the concept first, and then when I find the right beat, I will develop that concept. So I consistently stay writing music, and then I enjoy it because it's writing. It's my music is part of my journey.
Oh, that's an important part of your journey.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. How do you go about publicizing your music?
Publicizing my music, I go. My music is on every platform. Like I use United Masters as a distributor to help
Hmm.
put the music on all platform. And yeah, it's on every platform, all the main platforms, Spotify, Apple, and more. But with the music business and with the streaming being that, it's one of those things where you have to keep pulling money out of it. As a new artist, it's been challenging. So what I try to do is try to like create as many events on my own to introduce people to my music.
Oh, okay. Uh, what song are you currently promoting?
The song I'm currently promoting is for Gratitude.
Yeah.
Gratitude is a song. It's gonna be part of my next album in March. It's called Holy Sinner. And gratitude is I live a life of gratitude because I always tell people the whole I'm so blessed and grateful for all the amazing blessings that's been happening into my life, and one of the line of the song is it's the opening statement. They say life is a battle, but my life is a blessing. I don't worry about the cuts. I worry about the lessons. So gratitude it's a celebration of life. It's a celebration of it's my way to say thank you to God, thank you to my ancestors, thank you to my friends and family for being there and being my light and keep pushing me in dark times. And also those dark times has made me who I am today. So this is the song that I'm pushing now. It's a celebration of life, honestly.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey. Oh, by the way, I want to say hi to my biggest fan on my podcast. His name is Drew Nagiso. And actually, he's a filmmaker. And my wife, Randy, and myself, we are um, executive producers on his films, as well as he has given us the opportunity of acting in them.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'd like to
Beautiful.
say hello, June, and
Hi,
as
Junior.
so nice to see you as always. Yeah. Okay. We're going to stop for a brief message. Okay, and then we'll be right back.
All right, perfect.
I'm Alan Greenstein, founder and producer at Support Our Hashtag Creatives. At Support Our Hashtag Creatives, I offer a number of services to support those developing a project. Check out the services tab of my website at supportourcreatives.com. If you are interested, please use the contact tab on my website or email me directly at alan@supportourcreatives.com. Okay, we're back. Now, let's go on to another topic.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Chabon Art Series.
Yes. Yes. Chabon in English means charcoal. And
Charcoal. Yes.
yes. And then I've been going to this pop-up drawing. It's a drawing pop-up. It's called Raw Fig. And every time I go, I usually use charcoal. And then I always tell people charcoal is like life. It's messy, it's delicate, but it's also very it's raw. And then I've been having fun with this medium. So with that medium, I created a series where I wanted to open a platform for artists to come and display their work, and also create an experience for a try to like stay away from the mainstream gallery where people just go and they look at the work and they drink wine and then they're out. So it's not like, especially in the city that I live in, Miami. So I wanted to create an experience where it's a raw experience between the artist and the audience, a, where it's the art get to be really exposed and people get to experience that first place. So I created this series. It's a monthly uh, and then I do it at my studio to start with. But the goal is to not only growing up, I never charcoal in my country is used on different ways because the reason why there's a big problem with this with the forest is because a lot of people use the trees to make charcoals, and then the charcoals are made to make food. But I never grew up seeing people use charcoal as a form of art, and so it's a double entendre. One of the big goal of my this year is kind of like any profit that I make from this series, it's usually to help feed kids, not only in Haiti but in the Caribbean, or to any organization that is all about like feeding kids.
So you want to bring Chabon all over the world?
All over the world. I want to bring it to you. I want to bring it to Paris. I want to bring it to anywhere in the world because the concept is about like having any artist create with charcoal and then display it, and also make the art accessible to the audience.
Huh. Yeah. I think it's interesting about how you how charcoal is something that you're really passionate about using, while of course for in a lot of places, charcoal is a necessity. The
Yes,
people use it to cook. So
exactly,
yeah, right.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, but you've decided that you want to show another side of charcoal. That you
exactly. Another side of it also is that there's different type of charcoal. There's like soft, there's hot, there's medium, and then each one of them, it's like messing around with each one give you a different experience, give you a different texture, and then give you. For example, I can show you. For example,
oh
this is a
wow,
soft charcoal.
oh
Uh,
fantastic.
yes, and then also those are like drawings that I can. Sometimes it takes me 2 minutes. Sometimes it can take me 2 days.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
uh, this is another aspect of charcoal. So this is a hot charcoal. So you
Wow.
you can see the difference between how the edges between the first one is like it's kind of raw. This one is more refined, right?
You find, yeah, yeah.
Yes. So it's there's different element of it. So and then this is why while I'm doing this while I do these drawings, I also introduce people to and then this is another one.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes. So everything is made with charcoal, and then this is another one. So this is a series that I started working on for Art Basel, and then this is the process of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll talk about Art Basel a little bit later. But so this is something that, as I just said, looks like this is something you're really passionate about. And it's is this is using charcoal something that is that a lot of people use, or is it something that's really rare to use charcoal as art?
I think like a lot of artists use it, but I haven't seen charcoal being as dominant in the art world as other art, as far as like acrylic and other medium, especially like now we're living in the AI era where everything has to be overly. Now you question everything. Like I remember I went to some exhibition. I had to question: Is this real? Is this like?
Uh,
The reason I love using that medium is how raw it is when you use it. How when you draw, you can hear it. You can hear the experience. How charcoal. I use this method where I do not erase because I don't think that art is about perfection. I think like art as everything in life should be about the experience. It's like the journey. Yes, I see something and I want to draw it. As a kid, you don't teach a kid to draw to be perfect. You tell the kids like be as free, use your imagination, and then that's why I love that process. I love that rawness of using charcoal, where it's just like I can hear it, I can feel it, I can touch it, I can dirty my hand. It's like being a mechanic It's like, being one with like with the grease, with the motor, with the like with the engine. I feel like I'm being part of this artwork that I'm doing.
Ooh, yeah. So it sounds like you're saying that once you start something, you're never going to throw it away. You're just going to add to it,
Yes,
right? Because
yes,
it
sir.
sounds like that's the impression I get from what you said.
Yes,
Because
sir. Yes,
you know
sir.
you're not concerned about making a mistake. You can always continue on with that
Yeah,
particular piece and make something great with it.
exactly. And then also, it's just like I feel like life. We live in this, like I mean, nature and everything is perfect, but life is a very unperfect journey. But we live in a society that's consistently pushing us to be perfect. And then I always tell people I'm not a brain surgeon. I'm an artist, and then my job is to challenge myself, to make mistake, and then to fix it. And then I learn from that mistake. And then sometimes the mistake is a beautiful thing. So I don't put that much pressure on trying to be perfect, but it's the expression, the journey. It's what I'm focusing on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you mentioned that you live in Miami.
Yes, sir.
You think that Miami is a great place to be an artist? There's a really vibrant art community in Miami?
I think Miami is a great canvas. But as far as that culture is involved, I feel like Miami is still a very young city when it comes to art.
Oh,
Even though there's a big art community there, but the culture of it is it's very different. For example, the culture of it compared to like let's say city like New York or Paris or 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 Rome, the way art is being appreciated, is being celebrated. I don't think it's the same in Miami. A but It's a great canvas because Miami, just like it's a melting pot. A Miami is the home of the one of the biggest uh, art platform, which is Art Basel, and it happens every year in December. Miami is a home of a lot of artists, but as far as like, the culture is concerned, it's still like I think it's still new.
yeah. Okay. That's really great. And you mentioned Art Basel, so let's start talking about that. But before we do, one more thing. So you're saying you do your Chabon in Miami once a month currently?
Once a month, every
Once a month.
third Friday.
Okay.
It's every third Friday.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I know that last week and the week before there were an Art Basel in Miami was
yes.
underway. You told me you were very busy, so let's talk about
Very
that.
busy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
So first of all, what is Art Basel in general? What is that for?
well, Art Basel is one of the biggest art festival in the world. Think like it happens in Berlin. They just started Paris, and if I'm not mistaken, in Tokyo and Miami. It's where every first week of December. It for the whole week. It's a lot of gallery, a lot of activation. A lot of artists come from all over the world to be part of the fair. It's like a huge art fair. It's art fairs all over the city. Yeah, it's a celebration of art basically, and then the city just turned upside down because there's so many activities. And then yeah, for this year, I had a chance to put on a couple of events and then also be part of a couple of exhibition on my own, and that's why it was a full week of non-stop activation.
Yeah, wow. So you actually were a participant in Art Basel?
Yes, so the thing is, Art Basel is so big that Art Basel started like many years ago in Miami, and just like everything, it starts with like the focus was on the art, and then once it gets too corporate, the focus turned into the parties, and then everybody's trying to make money out of it. So this year I wanted to do it different. I wanted to do it I wanted to go back towards like focusing on the art and less on the parties and try to be all over the place. I participated in a in an exhibition at the little Haiti Cultural Center called Foreigner, where I did like 12 pieces. It's still at the gallery until February. I did another pop up at Mangrove where I got to display a series called "We Are the Youth That You Misled." I did a couple of collaboration with some artists. I did this scarf with Identity Boutique, where it's a picture of one of my painting, and then she used it to create this scarf. And then it's where it's available online. I did another project called Set It Free. Me and my friend Benjamin Jean, we did this at my studio. We did this whole activation called Set It Free, and then part of it was like as an artist, we have a lot of. Sometimes I met many artists that have many blocks, and then sometimes I always tell them sometimes you have to set it free in order for you to move forward. Part of the exhibition was artists or and the guests. There was a notebook, and then part of it was you get to write something in a notebook you want to set free. You rip it out, and then there's a fire bin, and then you set it free in the fire. So activation like this, I did some live painting for different at different events. Activation like this was what I was like more focused on this Basel. So from Monday all the way to Sunday, I was like all over the place.
Oh wow! Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So what other cities around the world do they have Art Basel?
Think Berlin for sure, and then
Yeah.
this year they started in Paris. So I think Berlin, Paris, Miami, and if I'm not, if I don't, if I'm maybe Tokyo. I want to say Tokyo, but yes, but the biggest one is Miami. The biggest one is Miami, and every
Biggest
year
right there.
it gets bigger and bigger because it's more corporate, it's more parties, it's more like there's 1,000 invites. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, that's something, all right. Yeah. Yeah. So is the Miami one is that the only one that you have actually participated in, or have you participated in some of the other ones around the
No,
world?
Miami one is the only one I've participated in, and I've been doing Art Basel since I started in Miami. I've been doing many, and I've been doing Art Basel as a as a guest, and then I think for me this year has been the biggest year for me as an artist with all of my activation that I've that's been one of my biggest activation.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I expect that you'll be going back with to show more of your works next year.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. Okay. We're going to pause for another brief commercial. We'll be
Okay.
right back. I'm Alan Greenstein, founder and producer at Support Our Hashtag Creatives. If you make something, albeit make a movie, start a business, write a book, make a physical product, run a nonprofit, promote people, are a songwriter, etc., you too are a creative, and I would love to have you be a guest on the Support Our Hashtag Creatives podcast. If you want to be featured on this podcast, please use the contact tab on my website at supportourcreatives.com or email me directly at alan@supportourcreatives.com. Okay, we're back. Okay, now a little change of subject. Let's talk about your part in the fashion world.
Fashion Island is something that I've always been intrigued by since I was in college. I've
Oh,
and then when I got After I graduated college, I went back home in 2009, and then on the way back in 2010, this is where the earthquake happened in Haiti. And then I was in the airport on my way back to Miami. And hence where my quote, nothing ventured, nothing gained, came about, and I make this my lifestyle because I believe that life is short, and then sometimes we act like we are forever. But especially for me, when I want to do something creatively and when I want to do something that when there's this fire in me, I do not wait. So I was introduced to fashion via my mentor Max. I used to work as an intern at his gallery, and then this I got introduced to Black Apple, this brand called Black Apple New York and Public School NYC, which are two brands like kind of urban luxury brand. And then from there I started to like venture in. I went to work as a marketing director where from the school I graduated, and then I left to and I became like a art and creative director for a sneaker brand called Fabrice Tordieu.
Ooh.
And then boom, it was my big introduction in fashion where I got to design clothing and sneakers. I did 5 years in that brand, and I left to create my own brand, BID, Life of BID, and then another brand called Waiting List Clothing. And then I haven't looked back since then. So now I do more like custom and collaboration in fashion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So waiting list clothing company. That's where you have
Yes,
the
Wedding Link
most exposure
Clothing.
in fashion.
Yes, Wedding Link Clothing, and then BID and VNG, which is like BID and NVNG stands for Nothing Venture, Nothing Gain. And it's all, everything is like BID. It's all about empowering. It's about
Yeah.
using word on clothes to empower young people. And then the Winning List is a brand that I started right before quarantine. And then yeah, so the waiting list is it's about like there's power in waiting, even though people we live in society that which are we are very impatient as people now because we want everything instant gratifying, like we want everything to be instant. But I feel like there's power in waiting. One of the most beautiful thing in life, which is giving birth, you have to wait nine months.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. 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 So, is all your business done online, or do you have a physical store?
Online mostly, and also it's I have a studio in Miami, which
Okay.
is I have a art studio where I combine everything like my art, my fashion, and everything.
Oh, okay. It's
Yes,
great.
yes,
Yeah. Okay. And okay, let's talk about photography.
yes.
So tell us about your involvement with that in
Ye-
photography.
Yes,
Yeah.
my photography. I feel like photography is one of my mistress, if I can say, I can put it like that. So if art is like my world, photography is my mistress. I have
Mister.
this really intimate uh, relation with photography. I feel like photography, I can come back to photography whenever I'm stuck in whatever project I'm working on. Eh, I discovered photography again back when I was an intern for Max. I did this. I work with this amazing photographer, Pulitzer Award winner, Patrick Farrell. And I was so touched by the storytelling. He went back to Haiti to shoot not only the earthquake, but also there was like a hurricane that devastated like the central part of Haiti, and he went to shoot it. And then it's a mixture of being present and skills and what story are you trying to tell in photography. And I was captivated by it. And he gave me the biggest advice. He told me I told Patrick, I'm ready to like to be a student. I'm ready to learn from you. And he told me, you already have the eyes. All you have to do is pick up a camera
Mm.
and shoot your first 10,000 pictures.
Mm.
And yeah, and then it took me a minute to figure out what is it I really want to do when I pick up the camera. And I realized that it's like it's telling stories. I like telling stories. I like black and white. I like when I shoot someone, I like the same emotion that I felt at the moment that I capture you. I like it to be felt by whoever's looking at this picture. So I love photography. I you know, and then it didn't hit me how impactful my photography was until like one time I posted something and then this lady reached out to me and said, Bacheler, like I like how you give power to the women in your pictures. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Thank you, but it's not something that, especially for me, that I'm so involved. I'm involved in so many facets and avenue in art. Sometimes you can take it for granted, but yeah, photography is definitely one of those art form that I really can find myself in anytime like I'm stuck in a project.
Oh, yeah. So, so all these different things that you talked about. You said you have you had the studio in Miami where people
Yes,
can come and see all your works, like your photography and your various painting, artwork, whatever it is. Is that
yes, yes,
yeah?
yes. And
Okay.
it's also an experience because it's one thing talking about everything that I do, but when someone work in the studio, it's very overwhelmed,
Wow.
because sometimes you're like, oh, and that's why I'm saying like I'm very blessed because usually it's not very often that you find an artist that is like that's practiced so many medium of art, and then when you come to the studio you're like, wow, this is overwhelming. So you go to painting, and then you go to charcoal, and then you go to photography, and then fashion is this way, so it's an experience.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. You know, my wife Randy and I we come down to South Beach quite often, and the next time
Nice.
we come down to visit, we can definitely have to come to
I
your
will It
studio.
will be my pleasure to have you guys.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what's next for you? What's the next big thing that you'll be working on?
Next for me is I'm getting ready to I'm getting ready for my album in March. My album, it's called Holy Sinner. Holy Sinner because like I told you earlier already, we live in a world that is like so focused on being perfect, and now with AI and with the technology, I feel like it's I take a step back to understand and also to embrace that as a human, we are both good and bad, and I feel like that's the real freedom is when you embrace the two of them. So Holy Sinner is a story of me as an artist being both good and bad in relationship, in my art, sometimes in the way that I am, and it's about like putting a list of music that that breaks down that persona. And the first single is Gratitude. I'm gonna release the second single at the beginning of the year, and then release the album in March. That's one of the big projects that I'm working on. I am also working on another art project, another series, because I like to work by series. It's
Oh,
like from
okay.
my architecture background, so it's everything is concept. So boom, like last year I worked on the concept called "We Are the Youth That You Misled," and I work and then another concept called "Linear," which means light. So this year it's more about like with everything that's going on in with the immigration. My concept for this year was I will always be a foreigner. And then so I'm working on another concept next year, and then it's about being the concept is the last one that I showed you. This concept, uh, and the concept is about using these characters to as a reflection of everything that's going on. These characters can be, they where I'm from, they're used to scare people, but at the same time there's a meaning behind them. And then this character, I want to use them to display that people can can look like they belong in the best position, and they have this and they have that, but they're still, part of them is still bad. So it's a human reflection and then decapitation, if you can say, yeah, if you can say that. uh yeah, it's more, expect more music, more art, and more collaboration. And also I want to take Chabon to the next level. I feel like the series is something very powerful. And then I don't want to limit the series just to 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 art. I want to involve literature because uh, I feel like handwriting is a dying art, and I would like to implement handwriting with Chabon as part of it. Reading, like the medium is so big, so I don't want to limit it to just one thing. But one of the goal is trying to find the right partner, the right organization to partner with, and to make it bigger, to push it, to 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 talk about the value of the medium, and also to talk about like kids hunger, because we are very fortunate to have a roof over our head, but we know like that's not the case in every part of the world, and especially in Haiti. And whatever that I can do using my art as a weapon to bring light, not only to bring light, but also to make a difference, will be a blessing.
Yeah, I appreciate that. How Haiti is kind of like this has something. Everything that you do is kind of driven by
Yeah,
Haiti, and yeah,
yeah,
and the fact that you're from there, and the conditions that has been going through over the years.
yes.
Yeah, it's sort of like giving Haiti a voice in your art and stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then it's not something I even do. I feel like something that just in me. It's I think Haiti is part of my biggest inspiration. And regardless of what I do, even though when I don't do it consciously, but it always come out. Like, the my culture always come out. The colors that I use, the quote that I use, the vibration in my art. It's part of me. I cannot get away from it.
That's for well, that's you. That's
Yes,
great.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
right. Yeah. Okay, so what advice can you provide for people who want to, do the kind of stuff that you do?
You have to be bold. Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you have to be bold. Coming from a culture that is like, you cannot wake up one day and tell your parents, I'm gonna be an artist. you know, it took me a while to get here. Eh, it's not for everybody, but at the same time, is life is short to live a life of regrets at the end of the day. So I would say you have to be very bold, and you have to be very consistent. Consistency, that's one of the biggest advice that I got from this guy that I was talking to. Is saying, yeah, there's always gonna be someone that is better than you, but consistency always beat, like, talent. Like, you might be talented, but you're not consistent. but there's someone who's not as that talented, but which is very consistent. Especially we live in a world where the attention span of people are very short, and then you are every day you are going against like a million people. I would say like being consistent and also authentic to yourself and to your story is what I would advise anybody you know trying to be an artist or trying to express themselves or have a voice.
Oh, okay. Okay. So how can people get in touch with you?
Easy. People can reach out to me on Instagram at bash bead 5, which is that's my main Instagram, and it has the link to everything that I do as an artist, my photography, my music, my fashion, and also my WhatsApp number is on there, so you can reach out to me there. And then I'm very responsive actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So that's BACHBID5 on Instagram.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And I hope that the people who contact you will indicate their interest in coming to your studio and doing all that.
Thank
So
you. I love having people over the studio for coffee.
yeah.
Yeah, I love having people for coffee. You know, most of the time when I invite people to the studio, it's not it's yes, it's to show them the art, but usually the conversation, the connection that happens, it's more so much more than just the art. You know, the art is just part of it, but that the connection, you know, talking about the art, seeing the art, talking about life, for me, it's so much, it's much more powerful.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Well, okay. I want to thank you, Bacheler, for being on tonight. And it's amazing all the different talents that you exhibited tonight. It's amazing.
Thank you
Fantastic.
so much. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for scheduling this live podcast with me, and thank you for supporting artists. Thank you for the platform that you have, and keep going, please. And I'll make sure that I keep following what you do and share it, and looking forward to actually meet you in person.
Oh yeah. Well, thank
Yes.
you for the kind words. And this is what I do. This is my thing. The spotlighting artists of all kinds and well, creators of all kind, basically.
Yes, yes,
That's what I
yes,
do.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I want to thank the people who have watched this live, as well as those watching it on the replay on platforms such as Spotify, as well as Jess TV, JESS TV. So, with that, once again, thank you, Bacheler. And I'm going to say good night,
Thank you
everybody.
and good night.
Episode credits. Main interview portion, originally live streamed and recorded by StreamYard, was repurposed by Alan Greenstein. Support our hashtag creatives. Animated and static logos were created by Shakisha Williams. Episode thumbnail static promo image was created by Alan Greenstein, using Canva. Episode intro and outro were written by Alan Greenstein. Episode intro and outro voices were created by text-to-speech technology, using Balabolka. Episode was edited and packaged by Alan Greenstein, using Camtasia and Spotify for creators. Thank you for spending time with us. Please tune into our subsequent shows as well as our previous shows.